that bitch up. Light that bitch up. Sand and fog inspired by the California coast. Amen flame. Welcome back to another edition of The Way of the Daniel. And we had to put a little pause on the video there and wait until the sort of guest star departed the area because we want to speak freely in the way of the Daniel, and which is cool about this mic being so close is that we can whisper or talk lightly, quietly, without needing to make big, loud, expansive gestures, because one important thing in the way of the Daniel to remember is that you can absolutely increase intensity without having to be loud or big, expansive gestures. You can make intense with just the smallest twist. It is April 19th. Sorry for that loud burst. April 19th, 9:49 a.m. And really appreciated getting this launch, keep the ball rolling on the way of the Daniel, because we are at Sun 29 degrees Aries, last degree of Aries. And then we're going to come into fucking Taurus. And Moon is at 22 degrees Cancer in that nice cancerous energy. The sign Cancer, it's a terrible fucking name associated with this disease. It's not really associated at all, but it fucking sucks with the words being the same. Mercury entered Taurus, and if you recall, we had a nice, beautiful snowfall when Venus entered Taurus, and then Mercury enters Taurus, and we got this fucking blizzard that's everywhere. And then that's all we want to talk about astrology for today, but we'll be very curious to see what kind of shifts we have coming up for Sun entering Taurus. What kind of shifts, changes, feelings. See if you can notice it yourself. This is how you really get into astrology, is by witnessing, experiencing things that are more easily able to perceive and witness, experience, like shifts of the sun, changing degrees of signs. And what we are doing today, I had a fucking title. Yes! Welcome to Behind the Scenes of the Way of the Daniel. And we'll call this an interlude because we're not particularly motivating something. But one of the things behind the scenes I wanted to do was get a little, and also, show the audience. Let's show the audience what we do behind the scenes. And, of course, always and most importantly, solidify these practices within myself, because that is what most importantly what we're doing here on the Way of the Daniel is practices and therapeutic shit for myself, and inclusive of encouraging and helping myself to express myself in the ways that I would want to express myself to a more public audience, but also the Way of the Daniel isn't just for Daniel in the sense that these are good things. These are in general can be applied to people's life, and we've wasted enough. We want to move on now. We haven't wasted time, because this is not a waste of fucking time, but we're at 5 minutes, so let's move on. So, big day for tasker items, accomplishing a bunch of plans that need to be taken prior to the launching of our next adventure, which starts tomorrow, or the next day. It's still looking like tomorrow, but the blizzard may have said, well, let's wait one more day. We'll fucking see what comes down the pipeline today. But, so, what's really cool and I'd like to say is all these ideas, I wrote them down when I first woke up this morning. Instead of trying to explore big philosophical or metaphysical ideas, which is usually what I like to play with when I first wake up in the morning. Hence why it's also hard to get rid of the coffee, because the coffee just spawns the idea playing. But this is hot chocolate, by the way. But this morning was more, let's write a list. Let's just make out bullet point. See? Boom. Boom. Bullet. I'm not sure if I want you to see all that shit. Maybe it's okay. Maybe it's okay. Yeah. So we'll just some of the shit we're doing. Yeah, some of the shit we're doing. And God, I hope nothing on there wasn't something I didn't want to show the general populace. So, wrote out, and these ideas I had built over a couple days previous, so they'd been brewing, and so that brewing really made it easier to just write them all out this morning. And then I thought, okay, first you're going to make this list of ideas. And now what I'm doing here at my computer, or what I was planning on doing, I don't know if I'll quite get there, was start to put them in a spreadsheet listing times and putting the taskers of what I had put for myself in order of operations to do them. This is all to in the efforts of taking these ideas of things to do and making them more seamless and easier to do. And the easier to do is where I'll like to talk about, because Number one, I wrote this down in preps for the speech, and we're going to keep fucking going while we still have time during this speech, is we want to avoid any items you put down of a to-do list for the day. I like to call them objectives or missions or tasks, but you want to avoid them looking like a chore list or taskers or this fucking word honeydews. Hate that honeydew shit. That's for relationships only, though, but I guess you have a relationship with yourself still, too. Everyone does. It's probably mostly shit, or they're not even aware of it, but that's okay. We're not here to make more people self-aware. Maybe someday. The Matrix has you. The Matrix has you. Wake up. So these, you don't want them to look like a fucking chore list, because not only, why not a fucking chore list or taskers? And this is the fucking thing where people will be like, oh yeah, I'm gonna take whatever enhancement I need so I can be super focused and feel productive and knock out my shit today. And that's not the fucking point. The point is not to knock the shit out. Unless it's really just like shit you really don't want to do and you really just have to get rid of it. But the whole point is the plans are designed to build a lifestyle. I.e., when I say build a lifestyle, we're not looking for instant fad diets or steroids to get us fucking ripped in the gym. We want to build a lifestyle where we're fucking fit and swole and awesome. We want to build a lifestyle where we're consistently doing things that not only like are healthy for us, but also lead us in the directions we want to go. There are maybe places and directions you want to go in your life, ways you want to design and build your life. And as powerless as you might think you are in that category, you can at least try. You can at least put effort. These things that you at least say you want to do. And having this list and taskers and objectives and items to knock out, we don't want them as a fucking chore list because we want to enjoy the process and enjoy the journey. We want to be experiencing life as we're making steps toward a life that we would want to experience. So, a life that we'd want to live, a lifestyle we are trying to fucking design. And so we want to enjoy the process, enjoy the journey, or at least make it less painful and reduce suffering. And this is kind of where we've been on the mentality the last like 7 months or so, and why Jordan Peterson has been such a huge help, because he's all about this shit. Like, a lot of people are like, chase your dreams and manifest and all this stupid shit, and he's like, yo, like, how about first we fix a little bit of this suffering shit? Like, let's take care of the things where we fuck up and that make us suffer. And this is so cool because it goes right back to what this gym instructor taught me. I had a little coaching session because my fucking back hurt, and I wanted someone to help me figure out how to fucking fix this shit. And it was like supposed to be like a free intro session, but then I paid the guy for like a week or two. And his whole thing was like, stabilize before you go into building strength. Like, you really need to stabilize before building fucking strength. And we're not going to get to most of this fucking speech, which is unfortunate. So maybe I'll just stop. I'm going to stop right here and end part 1. So if you get bored, whatever, if you want to come back to more videos, we're going to do a 2-part session. So to be continued.